and welcome to the Chamber Connection here with Kinetic TV. We certainly do appreciate you letting us film off-site today. We are at the Peacock Performing Arts Center. Everybody calls it the Peacock. And today our guest is Laurel Adams, who is the director, and Jim Kumis, who is the president of the association, right?
Of the theater.
Of the theater, okay. Well, Laurel, give us a little bit of background on where the Peacock has come from and where it's going.
Well, the Peacock came into existence because of Lilith Lidstein, who was a local aficionado and loved the arts and a philanthropic person in the community. And her grand passion was to see that a performing arts center, and that's what she wanted, was a performing arts center, was built. And that's what she did. She made it happen. And it became the Peacock Performing Arts Center. But she never lived to see it open. But she had plans for an opening parade and all kinds of wonderful things. And they're up there in the, this is our Lilith Lidstein memorabilia display. So she donated it to the community, just like she said, and there were a lot of hoops and bureaucratic things that happened, and as a result of that, a group of people in town kind of negotiated that they would come in and keep the building alive, because you know there's nothing worse than an abandoned building. So they came in to keep it alive, and that was in existence for quite some time. And then it became impossible to continue that situation because of mortgage and loan and a lot of things that that happened. At any rate, the building then got a new life as we got a loan from the USDA. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes, you are. Yes.
The USDA gave us a loan so that we could pay off the existing mortgage loan that she had gotten. And we did that, and then things just started to blossom. We put on a new roof, we put all kinds of improvements inside the building, and we were just off and running, and here we are.
This is fantastic. Now, just a little sideline that I think it's interesting is that there is a rumor that Lilith is still here with us.
Oh, she is.
That people have actually, things have happened and that
Yes.
you can't explain.
Yes, and because I'm an actress first and foremost, and the theater has a lot of traditions and rituals and things that we do. One thing that I always do is at the end of the night, after, because I'm always the last person to leave, and I go into the dark auditorium and I say, "Good night, Lilith, thank you."
Oh.
Every night.
A tribute to her.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her, this would never.
This would not be here.
And we wouldn't be here right now. We'd be somewhere else.
That's true.
I know y'all do a lot of the artwork, the building, all of the different things that go on the stage. And so you have a crew that actually comes in to help formulate all these.
More than one crew. It takes a village. It's become almost a trite or a cliche, but it does take a village to mount a presentation. And it doesn't matter whether it's a play or whether it's a concert, right? I mean, it takes people to do that. But for a play, we have to have a set design, and then we have to have a building crew that builds the set from that design. But we also have a costume crew, and we have a backstage crew, and we have our tech crew in the booth, who light and make the sound happen for the show. And that doesn't even begin to approach the marketing. The signs, the outdoor signs, the PR of one sort or another. So it indeed takes a lot of people. I think it would be safe to say 50 volunteers, and that's just to produce a play. That doesn't include the front of house, the lobby
that's
volunteers.
Yeah. So if anybody would love to volunteer for anything,
yes,
I think you would. I think you would welcome them with open arms. Yes.
Definitely.
I know I got my start here drilling.
Yeah.
I brought my drill and I was, tool belt, and I was ready to help build sets, and it was an amazing experience. That was one that I won't forget, and that's been over 15 years ago.
And so obviously it was a good experience.
It was.
Not one that you don't ever
Oh,
want to think
no.
about
I recommend getting involved with the Peacock at any point. If you wanted to be an usher, if you wanted to sit behind the bar and hand out Cokes and anything. There's raffle. Oh, there was one raffle time that I think the gentleman and I, we raised $450 in the raffle, I think it was. And we were just, so it's fun. It's just a fun event to do. So anybody that would like to sign up, they just call the Peacock here at 828-389-2787.
2787. Yes, absolutely.
And just say, hey, I'd like to volunteer, and tell them what
we'll do the rest.
Yeah, tell them what your specialty is, and they will certainly help you out. Jim, you came into this how many years ago?
I was. It's been 5, maybe a little.
That all?
Maybe
I know. I thought it was forever.
I had a neighbor. She's kind of pushy, and in a very, very mild way.
Yes.
And she
Diplomatic.
That's a good. Okay. She came to me and said that I had a background in entertainment, and I was a disc jockey, and I did those kind. I wasn't an actor, but I did those kind of things, and I love music, and I love being around bands, and I think she says we need somebody to sort of take us forward. And it was Laurel.
Yes.
And then she got me on the board, and then it progressed into president, and then we almost rewrote the bylaws so that I continue on as my role as the president. But yeah, and I came on board to sort of make it more of a performing arts center with a variety of shows as opposed to just a concert.
Right.
And we've been very, very fortunate. Rob Tiger, who I'm sure everybody knows,
oh yes,
has been amazing in the Songwriter Series. And we are now, I guess I'd be safe to say, we have Grammy winners, Grammy nominees, songwriter, and I get goosebumps thinking about the actual songwriters that we've had on here. There was a commercial for an insurance company with Jennifer Hudson, filmed in Atlanta, and it was a young man just singing on the square in one of the parks, and she came up and surprised him, and that was the gist of the commercial. Alex Guthrie is who it is, and he was here, and he was on The Voice. I mean, we've had 2 or 3 people that have been on The Voice and American Idol here. And I'm talking top 10 people, not somebody that just auditioned.
Yeah.
So the songwriters have been fabulous, and we've added that mix. One of my mentors told me that a salad is boring with just lettuce. You need olives, you need tomatoes, you need
that's true.
onions, you
I
need
can
dressing.
admit.
So that's what we've done. We've picked all kinds of genres, and we've had Motown bands. We've had the Beach Boys are coming. We've had the Beatles, fabulous shows.
That was great.
And we've had dog groups.
Oh yes, I saw that.
We've had our scaled down version of Cirque du Soleil.
Oh yes.
We've had all kinds of things, including box plays. I don't know what do we call those bus
and truck.
Thank you.
Tours.
They come in all contained. And It's a Wonderful Life, the Christmas show that we do. We had a veteran show, War Bonds.
Yes.
But we've had things over the years that are, and this year we have a Linda Ronstadt experience, hopefully, and we have the Air Force Band possibly, coming.
Right.
And things of that nature have made us a true performing arts center.
Yeah. There's just everything here except a wedding. We need to have a wedding here. Wouldn't that be great?
We have them on stage and plays.
Right.
Oh, I know, but a real one would be fun.
It could be some aisle we'll walk
You know,
down,
Yeah, it sure would.
Yeah, think of the entrance and going up onto the stage and the.
How about the bride on a trapeze bar swinging in?
or just coming straight
And
down.
there-
I mean,
there it is.
sky's the limit. You just have to start, But that's what the Peacock is all about, though, is the community. And not only the plays and the songwriter series. I mean, you've had some famous people in here. It's just a wonderful place for the community to come. And then on the first night of each show, there is a huge spread of food from the community. And so if it's a first night show, you need to be at it, because that is when everybody comes out and meets all the actors and actresses, and it's just a community feel that you don't get in the big towns.
Yeah, that's
in the
what I
big
see.
No,
cities.
you don't.
The
Not
best
that.
part about the Peacock are the people that come here.
Yes.
We have people that in the concerts that have played pretty big sized places, and they are so appreciative of our audience because the audiences are appreciate what we bring them.
Right.
And it's just
And
a
they
wonderful
show it.
experience.
The
They
audience
show it.
show it. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back because we're going to take you on a tour of the backstages, and who knows, maybe Lilith will do something strange. So come back in just a few minutes. Hi, and welcome back to the Chamber Connection. I'm Pam Roman, the Director of the Chamber of Commerce here in Clay County. We are enjoying an afternoon here at the Peacock Performing Arts Center. With me, of course, is
Resident Artistic Director.
there you go, that's it, Laurel Adams. Laurel is also a well-known actress out in Hollywood, so you'll have to see some of her play or her movies. I think The Wonder Years and
lots of things.
yeah, Little House on the Prairie, and then we also have Jim Kumas, who is the president of the Performing Arts Center here. We're going to take a tour, a backstage tour that not all the public gets to see, and I think you're going to be really surprised at what all is back there and how things go on, and who knows, we might even get a little hint of Lilith is around, if we're lucky. So hang in there, come on with us, and we'll take you on a tour.
We're going to go in the control room. Okay, can you get control room there? Okay, control room, where everything starts to happen that the audience sees. And then from the booth here, you can see the stage, the auditorium. And we have a wonderful sound mixer and a wonderful lighting board, and you can see the monitors that the tech people use to operate the sound and the lights for our shows. And I always sit right here when the show is happening so that I can call cues from here to the lighting person and to the sound person. And a lot of theaters have the stage manager doing that, but unfortunately in this space the stage manager can't see what I see from up here. So I decided long ago that whoever was directing a show needed to be up in the booth so that they could see what was happening. At this moment, if you've never been to the Peacock, you're saying, oh yeah, I know what this looks like. It looks like a concrete bunker, right? And then they walk into the auditorium, or actually, I'm sorry, into the lobby, and they see, oh, well, okay, this is better than I thought. And then they take this little trek right here and round the corner, and that's when their jaws drop, literally. Oh my gosh. You can see that it's stadium seating. And there is not a bad seat in the house. There are no poles, there are no posts, there is nothing. There are some very major theaters, for example, in Atlanta and New York, where you go in and you say, oh, I don't want to sit on the side because I won't be able to see anything, because sometimes the stage area itself is so deep that if you're sitting on one side or the other, you cannot see the entire stage. But that is not the case here. Come on down. And if you'll take a look up there, you can see what the actors see when they look at a full house. And our theater holds 250 seats, and then we have handicap seating, so that gives us an additional 4. And this is exactly what the actors feel when the house is full of people that are there just to have an experience that they didn't have before. And we've got all kinds of sound baffling because this is a concrete building. So we have all kinds of velour panels on the walls, and then back there you can see the multicolored panels on the back walls, and that helps with reducing any kind of reverb in the room. And I think that most people say that they were surprised at the sound quality because we do not mic our actors. So we don't have a personal mic system. And emergency doors, of course. And let's go up on the stage because I know you want to. And here we are. We're standing in a proscenium style theater, and that's what this frame, this arch is up here. There are 3 different kinds of theaters. There's an arena or in the round, and there's thrust, and then there's a proscenium arch, and that's what we are. That means that the audience is almost looking like through a camera, you know, one of our little handheld cameras. They're looking at the action on the stage through this archway, and that's why it's called a proscenium. Well, it goes all the way back to the Greeks, but we don't need to get into that. All right, so this part right here is an apron, and it was constructed after I think the archway was put in, and then they added this because they wanted to have an intimacy that you can't have if you've got all the actors up there. So this gives the actors a chance to come right down, and occasionally we'll do a play where there's something called an aside, where the actors will be talking with each other and then say, "Yes, you knew that, didn't you?" "I know." Okay, and they talk right to the audience. You wouldn't be able to do that very effectively if you were just behind the proscenium arch. So that's what the value is for the apron. And then back here is the actual stage, and a set would be built on the area back here. And overhead we have what's called a low union grid system. That's a fly system where all of the hangings and the lights actually come down on battens that are overhead. And there's a counterweight system over here where manually those ropes are pulled to either raise something up or to drop something in. So that's how you do a lot of scene changes. For example, we did The Music Man a couple of years ago, and we had a whole lot of sets, and you can see the space, and if you've got 18 or 20 sets, that means you've got a lot of things that you have to wheel on, push on, turn around, or drop in from the ceiling, and that's the value of this grid system that we've got. All right, this is where the magic happens as far as the scenery is concerned. We have all kinds of equipment back here that the guys use who are our set building crew, and we have about 10 to 12 guys that are here all the time, and they do every single show, every single year, bless them. And they use all of this equipment, and they all know where everything is, but everything is kind of labeled. And you can see that there's a lot of supplies that we use over and over again. All kinds of wood that we pull out to build small things with. And if something is kind of unique to the actual show, then we build it from scratch. But for example, here you can see step units, and we have a number of sizes and shapes. 3 steps, 6 steps, a flight of 12 steps, and different widths, and we don't see any point in rebuilding them. You know, every show uses a step unit or 2, and there's no point in rebuilding them every single time, so we build them sturdily, and then we just reuse them. And they're all nested here. The guys are very, very creative when it comes to using the space. And over here is something called the scene dock. And the scene dock is where all of the flats are stored. Flats are those 4x8 or 4x10, sometimes 4x12 units that are just brought out onto the stage and lashed or screwed together. And then they're the walls. They become the walls of the set. So right now, you're not seeing anything but just lots of lumber. But these are all things that are used in every production. We have platforms here that are just standard platforms, and then we bring them out onto the stage and put legs under them and use them over and over and over. And then these are the flats here, those walls that become the walls. And each bin here has a certain size flat in it so that it's really easy to pull out. You know, if I say, okay, we need 4x8s, then the guys know exactly where to go to pull them out. And then we've got lots of doors, kind of interesting, odd things, and we've pulled them out for cleaning or restoration. But you can see we've got 6-panel doors and 2-panel doors and doors that have windows above them, and because those are kind of hard to find. And so we've got them, and then it's just a matter of changing the knob or the hinges or whatever as far as the guys are concerned. And we have a rolling tool cabinet here that one of the guys built, because so often they'll get out on the stage and then they won't have the right tool. So we find it's really easy. We just wheel this sucker out there. It's full of tools. And then we have the paint and more tools over here in this area. And you can see that it kind of looks like a hodgepodge, but the guys know exactly what they're doing. And this is another breaker box that was given to us that extends the function of our lighting system. We can add more things to the existing, the hardwired system up there, and we can just plug it right into here, so we get maybe 24 more lights than we had. Okay. You can see we try to be nice, okay? We try to be nice and clean. And you can see as we're going out to go upstairs, the paint rack with all the tools on it, all the brushes, and like I said, we try to be neat. It just looks terrible. The men's dressing room, and it's a nice space, and here all the actors have a chance to sit at a mirror and apply their stage makeup. We have the restroom for the men right there with the shower and of course the toilet and a hand washing basin there. So that's what the men use. And the women have a similar, except it's larger. We tend to get into costume area storage because these racks here are full of costumes for the show, and women's costuming is generally a little more elaborate, and there are more of the costumes than the men. Because if a man is in a suit, jacket, and pair of pants, he's good to go, but a woman needs a new dress wherever he's seen. So we've got a larger space. But again, the shower for everyone. So it's a wonderful convenience to have. And then we go into something called the green room. And this is the green room, where actors hang out before the show, during intermission, and occasionally after a show, greeting friends who might come in to talk with them about the show. And we do use it when we do our musicals. We do use this as a rehearsal space. Here's a keyboard right here. And we have, maybe we might have the lead soloist down here working on her songs, and somebody else is upstairs working on the stage with the piano up there. Okay? And we've got a prop room, and sometimes we get a lot of props that are donated and we're not quite sure where we want to put them, so they kind of hang out right here. But this is the actual prop room, and what we did a few years back was we reconfigured the prop room so that this area has become a costume workshop. We found out that a lot of our ladies did not want to climb up all the way to the top of this building to work on costumes. And they can park right outside the stage door, which is just literally like 15 feet away. They can park there, come in here, do their sewing. There's a sewing table over there and a work table here. And they have a refrigerator in the green room, and there is a microwave and all kinds of things, so they can actually be very, very comfortable here. Now, the actual prop room part is back here. All right, now this is where all the furniture is stored, and lamps and chairs and all kinds of sofas and all kinds of accoutrement for every show. That way we don't have to go to somebody and say, hey, do you have a couch we could use? Because we've got things here. So you can see that everything is stacked up and categorized according to what it's for. And we've got love seats because that's the size of the kind of furniture that we need on our stage. All right, so this is the prop room. And you can see that we try to make the best use of space that we possibly can. We've even used the walls. We could use the ceiling if we could. All right, so let's go on up to the very top of the building. Now, Lilith Lidseen had a dream, a vision of this being a performing arts center and having something for everyone. So she built this, had it designed as a dance studio because she envisioned dancers being instructed here. So there are ballet bars and wonderful mirror there and a wooden floor here so that dancers could really make the most of this space. And in addition, right now, what you see here is we've been culling the extra things from our costume department that we found are not really very useful for us. And we're going to have a yard sale coming up, and we will have a virtual tour of the theater, just like you are doing right now. And we will have a yard sale for all of this excess stuff and a high tea. So I'm sure the ladies will just love to come to that event. And we'll let you know when that's going to happen, but it won't be much longer. Okay, so come on back to the costume department. I just need to turn the switch on here. Okay. So here we are in the costume department, and this is the place where all of the clothing comes from that dresses our actors in all of our performances. Everything is labeled, you can see, so that we know where everything is. And look what the ladies have done with the shoes. We're still working on it, but the ladies have done a great job at reorganizing so you can see exactly what you're looking for. I want a pair of cowboy boots with heels. I want riding boots. Okay, well, they're right there. So it's a lot easier now than having to look under something or in a box. Now everything is revealed. So if you want to come around, you can kind of see we've made the best use of our overhead space by putting an additional rack upstairs. I say upstairs, but up top. Come around to this side. And because this is the men's section, it's a lot easier to have two racks because usually the men have just a suit jacket or a blazer and dress shirts and pants. And we have a lot of military uniforms that have been donated to us so that when we have a show that requires that, we have a good start at it. And you pretty much seen everything that we've got here. And this is the fun thing. This is the actual costume section. And that means Halloween witches, Wizard of Oz, specialty items that are really truly costumes, not just dressing the actors for a part in a play, but these are actual costumes. I was looking for something that would be kind of fun. Oh, let's see here. I know that we've had, we've got lots of capes. If we do Dracula, for example, we've got capes with hoods and big collars. Okay. So, that's an idea there. And we just climbed up, 72 stairs? And you're not even out of breath. All right, the last place that you want to see that nobody else sees is our kitchen, because this is where all the ladies bring their wonderfully homemade scones and thematic food items for our opening night reception. And they're all prepared right here in this kitchen. We have a nice big refrigerator and refreezer. We've got a microwave to warm things up. We've got drawers full of silverware and all kinds of things, and a little cart to schlep it all out into the lobby. So now you truly have seen the Peacock.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that tour. I know I did. I've been on it several times, but it never ceases to amaze me, and I always see something different. So I want to thank y'all very much for allowing us to come into your domain and talk to you and get a little more information about the Peacock Performing Arts Center, and we will be back again, I'm sure. So thank you for tuning in, and we hope that you call the Peacock Playhouse at the number of 828-389-2787 and find out what's happening.